Since I've done several tutorials about this program now, I'm constantly receiving frequent questions about it. How do I do this? How do I do that? And I actually do use this program quite a lot, so I don't mind making an occasional tutorial or two now and again. Also, I'm not made of money, and that being the case, I'm often seeking out free alternatives to popular expensive programs like Photoshop, for example. So if you're not Warren Buffett either, or if you're just interested in graphic design or free digital art tools, but you're not committed enough right now to shell out a king's ransom, Paint.net is a great place to start. Okay, on to the meat and potatoes. Here's a question that I've recently received. Is there any way in Paint.net that you can outline some letters, like a blue high outlined in gray? So as you can see here, I tried to explain it, but in text form it looks a bit complicated. And I think the whole process would be a lot better shown rather than typed out, so that's what I'm going to do here. Now, there's two ways that you can do this. And to be honest, both are a bit troublesome. So I'm going to go into the least, I guess the quickest one you can do, or maybe not actually the quickest one you can do, but it's the least complicated of the two. The first method is simply writing out what you want in a larger font, and then you're going to go back and you're going to manually overlay the same letters like this, but in a slightly smaller font. Something like this. It sounds simple and straightforward, and it is, but it can be a bit tedious, so especially if you've got a lot of text you want to outline. So it can be fast, but if you're trying to do a lot of stuff, it can actually take quite a long time because you'll have to do each one of these letters individually. And the second method, you'll be able to, I guess, depending on what you're doing, this could be the faster way, which is why I'm showing both of these ways. You'll just have to see what works better for you. But yeah, at least you'll be able to outline. Using the second method, you'll be able to outline things a lot more accurately. But there's literally like a gazillion steps. So I already apologize in advance if it seems confusing. I'll try to make this as digestible as I can, so just bear with me here. First, use the text tool here to create the text that you want. So the person that asked me this question suggested a blue high outlined in gray. So that's what we'll use here for our example. Now, let's make this nice and large so you can really see it well. After that, select the magic wand over here above the paint bucket icon in your tools window. It's over here on the upper left-hand side. Now make sure the Add Union option is selected over here in the upper left-hand corner here. It's this second window looking thing. It's like a box, sort of like a transparent blue looking thing here. It's the second one in from the left. Now, just left-click and select all of your text. When you complete that step, come over here. So in the window on the bottom right-hand corner of the program, the one that says Layers on it, select the little green plus sign, this little thing down here. It's very small, and that will add a new layer. So now make sure, before you continue, make sure that the new layer is highlighted over here like this, because the new layer will be the top layer. But if you click here, down on the second layer, and you click on the top layer, just make sure that you know that that's highlighted there. Now, come back over to Tools, select Paintbrush, and use the paintbrush to paint over all of the text here with the color that you want the outlines to be. So this is what color your outlines are going to be. Make sure that you're choosing the color here when you're choosing your color, that this is going to be your outline color. And use this drop-down tab to enlarge the brush size. I'm going to make it huge. Don't worry about this. It's only going to get... It's not going to paint over anything. It's only going to paint over the magic wand selection area here within these dashed lines. So don't be afraid to get sloppy. Just fill it all in, the entire area, until it's all been painted over. Now, come up here to the top tabs here. So in the last tab up here titled Effects, okay, click that, and now you're going to get a drop-down menu. Hover your mouse over Stylize right here. It says Stylize. And when the secondary menu pops out to the right here, so choose Outline. It's going to be this the third option down. Okay, so for utility purposes, let's slide this window out of our way because you're not going to be able to see anything. Just click on it with your mouse. Left click, hold, drag it away so it's not blocking your view. Now once you do that, move this little slider labeled Intensity. You see this intensity right here. Slide this all the way up to 100. So now you're going to see that the outline, you're just going to get a solid white here. Everything within your text selection is going to be solid color. Now this other one here, back to your little window, that says thickness, the one on top, this little slider. I recommend setting this to number 6. You can kind of play around with it, but for the time being, I think 6 seems to be the best one to get a nice solid, because if you play with it too much, it'll start getting very harsh around the edges, and you don't want that. Okay, so click OK. And now you see how the outline is starting to take shape here now? So that's exactly what we want. So we're a little more than halfway there now. Come over to the Tools window again, and click the top left corner icon. When you hover over it, it's going to say Rectangle Select. So that's your Rectangle Select. And we're not actually going to use that for anything. We're just going to use that to finish our pixels, our pixel selection. So right up here, click this first box. It should say Replace when you hover the mouse over it. So go ahead, actually come back over to the image now from there, after you select that Replace button. And just left click anywhere on the image, and that's going to deselect. Now choose the magic wand again, and come back over here to the text. Only select the insides of each letter. You see all these solid white bits inside. You're just going to click that. Then press Delete on your keyboard, and then again with the next letter. And, presumably if you've done your own text, so on and so forth. Now for the coup de grace, back down to the Layers window here. This button right here. When you hover over it with your mouse, it's going to say Merge Layers Down. It should say Merge Layers Down. And click on that. And again, the icon's very small. You might have difficulty seeing it, in which case just hover your mouse over each icon, and it should give you a little pop-up text window where it says its own name. So it should say Merge Layers Down. Click on that, and there you go. Voila. So after you do that, you're done. You're done. Go ahead and save it as whatever file best fits your project. And that's the end. You're finished. Congrats. So there you go, folks. That's all I got for you. And as always, I hope that any part of this tutorial has helped someone in some way. And thank you for watching.